Jeepers.
You're welcome.
Call the Carroll County Commissioners meeting to order for April 9th. And we'll have public input from anybody. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Maureen, go ahead.
Maureen Spencer, Friends of Mountain View. I would just like to report, the event went off wonderfully. People, even though we changed the day and changed the time, people did come to support us. We made a little over $1,000, which, and there's still money coming in between the bake sale or the dessert portion of it and the auction. The delightful thing for me was watching people just didn't come in and eat and run. People sat there and socialized and visited and networked, and it was just an amazing thing to watch, because I wasn't there last year because it was on a Saturday. So I also got to show off the nursing home and taking people around and having them look at the artwork and explaining a little more about what the Friends of Mountain View did or do for the home and some of the things that we use the money for. But people brought in, just as you both witnessed, thank you very much for coming and supporting us, just the beautiful creations that they concocted for this event. I'd like to invite people to join our organization, because we're down a couple of members because some of the officers have family issues and they're not going to be able to continue because they have to stay and take care of their loved ones. So if there's anyone out there that would like to come and join, we meet the third Wednesday of each month at 10 o'clock at Mountain View. So I'd like to invite you to come and find out what we're all about and what we do. And we do have literature, but that I can...
Third Wednesday of each month at 10 o'clock?
Yes.
That's when we meet, so we can't be there, right?
Right.
Okay.
Well, we used to meet later, because I used to come to your meetings, and then I'd go over there at 1, but just because of people's lives, we had to change the time.
Okay.
So I'd also like to thank Howie was there for the whole time, and he took pictures, and it was great. I haven't seen him because I don't have a Facebook account, but hopefully, I did send a letter to the paper outlining what we've done and thanking them. And then the kitchen was wonderful. I mean, they were tripping over themselves, asking what they could do to help. And it was just such a community effort, and just the spirit
You had a lot of
the day.
volunteers.
Yeah, just the spirit of the day was just wonderful to behold. So, and then we had a lot of desserts left over, which, yay! So we donated them to the kitchen and to whoever wanted them. And I think what the kitchen ended up doing was just saying that people could leave a donation, because it was hard to put a value on what was left.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying there hopefully will be a little bit more money coming in. But the silent auction was great. I mean, people brought in brand new things, and I don't think we had anything left over, and it was 2 tables full of.
Yeah.
Full of.
I got 2 of the items.
Yay.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
Thank you. Maureen, thank you very much for putting it on. It was a very, very nice gathering. I think it gave David and I an opportunity to talk with people that wouldn't ordinarily be there. I talked with out of the blue, a young woman that owns a restaurant in Wolfboro, and she came to it. Yesterday, while I was having coffee, she made a couple of suggestions if you'd be interested.
Sure.
They
I'm
were.
always
Number
interested.
one, and I think I agree with her, the cost is too great for a family. She said 2 or 3 of her friends were gonna come, but to bring 3 kids and mother and father would have been over $25. Maybe she suggested maybe a family rate.
If you read the poster, it's by donation. Those are suggested prices. I mean, obviously, if you can't do it, we would have taken less.
Well, you know, when they put down by donation, and you see $3 per child, I think it was, and then you see 4, and then you see donation. People don't like to, if the fee is $4, they don't like to come in and throw in 50 cents. I just think if you know, how much the kid's gonna eat with what you have left over.
I know, kids can eat a lot.
I think she's right. I mean, you ought to some kind of a family to encourage people to come as a group. And one parent doesn't want to come.
All right, thank you.
She also suggested that, yes, she had a silent auction, but maybe a raffle.
50/50 raffle.
We do that at other events. I think we decided the silent auction would be easier, but we have thought about that. And we do 50/50s at other events, so.
I'm not sure I agree with her on the raffle part where you have the silent auction, but I do agree with her on
Does she mean in addition to the silent auction or
Huh?
instead of? In addition to?
In
or-
addition.
in addition to.
Okay.
And the
Yeah.
last thing was my own comment. What struck me was the number of people that were there that either had loved ones in there and had passed away, or had no connection with it at all and come in to see the place.
Yeah.
And I did want to make a special note and of thanks to Harry Merrill and his wife Lucy, who out of 15 representatives were the only
Ones that
were the
showed
only
up.
one that showed up.
Yeah.
And it's too bad we don't have more of them that come once in a while and find out what's going on.
He sat there for the whole time. He had a great time.
He had a great time. He was there. Harry's claimed to be on a weight-losing program, but
Yeah, not that day.
you could have fooled me that day. But I want to thank Harry and Lucy for coming, because I thought it was very nice. They were the only representatives of the delegation that were there. And that's all I had for notes.
Okay.
Well, Howie, I don't know if he's going to mention
I have a
anything,
comment.
but
Can I
um,
comment?
when I was talking with Howie there, he said, and I wasn't there last time either, but he said people tended to stay around and talk and sit down at the table, and where before it was sort of a coming in and going out type thing.
Right.
So,
Well, that's why I
getting
had-
better all the time.
I had wanted it on a Sunday because I wanted that feel of,
Yeah.
I mean, it develops community. You sit down, you meet your neighbor, you meet new people. I mean, I met a whole bunch of people I've never met.
It was wonderful, and hearing even this morning at the breakfast from residents who appreciated it, there weren't a great many residents who went, but those who did really appreciated it. And we also had new visitors. I was giving tours, so it was a great marketing
Mhm.
opportunity for people who hadn't been there, who wanted to see the place. So it served three different purposes at least.
Well, that's what I said in one of my opening comments, was the number of people that hadn't been there, and I got to point things out. Look at the artwork, look at this. I mean,
It was a great way to get them in.
yes. It was.
Commissioner
You did a
Kenney?
much better job, I
Yes.
thought, this time.
Commissioner Kenney's got the floor.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, go
I
ahead.
just want to say I didn't attend the event. I was sick, that's why I didn't attend it, and I came a couple minutes late. I had to run to the pharmacy this morning to pick up some allergy medicine. But next time, if you have an event like this,
Okay.
I'd love to attend.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
I just was gonna add one more thing. I think the group did a much better job advertising it this time than the last time.
Well, we put signs out on 16 and 25 and 153, and I helped, that helped a lot. Chip had
Yes.
made those
Sandwich.
sandwich boards, and that made a big difference. And that was what didn't happen the year before.
Good location down there, 16 and 28, right there on the island.
It's on the, it
Plus
was-
Ed put it out on Facebook,
Yeah.
and he put, I guess he streams this live, and so a lot of people got it out on whatever electronic media avenues.
the
Thank
one-
you for doing that, Ed.
Yeah. The one that was down here on the island, it was facing the Brownfield Road. I think it would have been better if it was the other way around, so you got both Wolfboro on 28 in both directions, but what can you do?
Yeah, well, you have to tweak these things, it's only the second year, so.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we were very
I think it was
happy.
great to have as many volunteers that you have. Yeah. And I guess there's some members of the Friends of Mountain View that are members that were there, I would assume.
Yeah, it was Chip, Sandy, Don, myself, and Buddy.
And the previous DON from Effingham,
Oh, yes,
Sandy.
Sandy.
what was her name?
It was Sandy McKenzie.
No, not Sandy.
Oh, one
No,
before her.
Director of Nursing,
The Director of Nursing.
Becky.
No,
Oh,
Becky
for
is the
Becky.
current one.
And Becky Mason was there.
Yeah.
I
No,
didn't
not
see-
Becky,
No, there
not
was,
Becky.
there was,
I didn't see
She
I
was
think it
behind serving
I
Oh,
think it was
Cheryl?
Cheryl,
Cheryl.
Yeah.
that's her
I
name.
didn't see
Cheryl
Cheryl
wasn't
Lau
there.
there.
Yeah, Cheryl, I think it's her name.
No, it wasn't Cheryl DeVille.
There was another one? Another director of this?
I think she's a member.
No,
She's been at your meeting when I was there.
Um,
It's a previous DON, doesn't matter, but she was there, and I always liked her and had a chance to talk with her a little bit. She and her husband, yeah. Go ahead.
The back of my hand is still sore. I reached into the cookie pile to take I didn't see the tweezers. I reached in to take a cookie, and it was like the old days in school, whack before I could turn around. Put that back.
and you had plenty of chocolate sauce?
A lot of chocolate sauce.
Okay.
But you're moving ahead. You got the chocolate sauce now. Next will be Facebook for you.
I think you could cut that chocolate sauce down in half, because there was still a lot left over.
Yep.
Well, we wanted to make sure you had plenty. 'cause
Yeah, I know
was
you
so
did.
upset
I know
the
you
year
did.
before.
It was a very nice time.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. I just wanted to come and report on
Yep.
that.
You're welcome. Thanks for
Thank you for
doing
coming.
a good job. Okay, Howie, I guess you're on.
Thank you, Maureen.
Howie, is there an agenda there maybe? Can I get one?
Oh, that could probably. So, here's the agenda.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much, Howie.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Let me-
Very good breakfast this morning. Again, I appreciate all of the volunteers that you have that help serve the residents there. I see a lot of people from the maintenance department, from, what's Debbie, in the housekeeping department, and probably others that I don't know of, but everything seems to work, clockwork. They pick up the menu, they talk with the resident, what they want, they go get it, they serve it. Then they come back and ask if there's anything else they need juice or water or coffee or whatever. I just think it's amazing that we've got that kind of help that really helps the residents and helps things move along.
No, it works out very well. They all look forward to it.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Howie, is there some way that you could tactfully get the word out over there? You know, we get over there and the opportunity is there for us to meet the residents if they can converse and the help. But they always seat that 4 people at a table, so David and I end up sitting together. And is there a way you could maybe say, hey, guys and girls, if you think about it, see if you could only slip 3 into a table, and maybe we could find a place to sit.
Let's reserve 3 tables.
Huh?
Oh, we'll reserve 3 tables to be set at 3 so that there's.
No,
there's
just have them, if, instead of putting the 4th person at the table, have the 4th person put them at another table, so there's a seat open for us to sit down.
Oh, no, exactly.
With the people that are there.
Yeah, I don't think we need a reserve
We don't need to
sign
reserve anything.
on that table, but, yeah,
But we'll make provision for you to be able to be there.
okay.
I don't make a big deal out of it,
No.
but, you
Well,
know,
but-
just.
but, you know, a little
just
play, a
One
little-
seat would be nice that we could sit down with a resident.
Yeah.
Well, I think we get you at different tables so you get
Yeah.
interaction with different residents.
I'd like to get to know who my roommate's gonna be.
Yeah, that's,
You have.
no, all single rooms, no
I thought
rooms.
you was gonna have a
All
private
single
room.
rooms.
Yeah.
Well, I
Okay,
have
go ahead.
have a few things to bring you up to date on. We're continuing with the looking at bids and bidders for the Mount Washington Valley Room. Met yesterday with a gentleman from Parsonage Millwork, Bruce Fichter. And we're not at the point of being able to have a recommendation for you yet. What we're doing is, for something that I'm very appreciative of, is Bob Murray is continually to do value engineering. Every time you meet with somebody, you get different ideas in terms of how to do it better, perhaps less expensively. And Bob's taken a very, very assertive role in that. So that'll save us money. We'll get a better job and save us money. We do have some bids in, but we're still waiting for a couple other people to get back to us with prices before we can present to you.
Howie, the mountain, the Mount Valley, Washington Valley room, that's the big one, that's not the one we had the acoustical problem.
Well, that's true. It is the big one.
You're talking about putting in the sink and the
Cabinets.
cabinets.
Now, and our hope is, and it's related, that if we can do this inexpensively enough, we'll have the money that's left over from this to be able to do the acoustical treatment. Bob has a plan. We met with some professionals from Boston, from Framingham, who never got back to us with a proposal. But they shared with us all their ideas, and that wasn't wasted on Bob. So Bob has a much less expensive way that we might be able to address a lot of those concerns. But we thought, first things first, we need to see what this will cost to see if there's money left over for that. But that's
Where's the money coming from?
the money is coming from we received a settlement. We had
and the rugs.
from the carpet.
Yep, okay.
And so that it's been set aside.
Yep,
And with the intention being, as approved by the commissioners, for that money to be used within those rooms, because
Yeah.
that's where it came from.
okay.
Howie, do you know if Bob said, I told 3 different people about the project and gave them Bob's name to call.
And one was in yesterday,
Oh, okay.
and he was excellent. Parsonage Millwork, Bruce Fichter.
No, he wasn't one of the ones that I asked when we.
Oh, Bob introduced him to me
Okay.
as being such, but
I know him very well, so, but that's not one of the 3 that I mentioned. Anyway, doesn't make any difference, I just wanted to, it's a
But-
job that could stay local very easily.
no, and we're appreciative because the newspaper advertising the request for proposals didn't generate much in terms of interest at all. So, but Bob has a couple other people I think that he's waiting on, so hopefully within 2 weeks or so, we'll be able to have a proposal for you.
Okay.
You've already heard about Just Resorts, and that worked out very well. Last week, I went up to North Conway to Home Depot, where we picked out some $4,000 in donated supplies for the future Veterans Park, and today we'll be picking a day in May when it'll both be delivered and when there'll be kind of a work group from Home Depot and with some of our own staff to be able to help put that into place.
You be there with your camera to make sure that Home Depot gets their due recognition for their.
Definitely, in fact, I've already submitted some to the newspapers, press releases, and we also posted on Facebook our meeting from last week, because we want to be.
Is that
well,
still going in next to the flag?
It's going kind of around the flag.
Okay. I think that area is full, but I wish you'd look for another alternative.
Well, the other spots would have put in, we actually put it to the residents and we had meetings.
Yeah.
Other spots would have put it out of the way instead of front and center. And there was something about having it be front and center and around the flag that was compelling, even though it forces it to be smaller. But truth be told, that stretches the dollars further too.
Okay.
They're also looking at putting the benches not in there, but the benches would be in the outer loop, not.
You gotta watch out for the snow.
Oh, no, in fact, the benches won't be in the circle. The
Oh.
benches will be essentially under the overhang.
Oh, okay, okay.
So they've taken a broader look
Yeah.
at things, and they're very sensitive to the drainage and the snow issues.
I was wondering whether along that area where you're gonna put the benches, either one side or the other, which side has more room, is to put some kind of a monument to veterans, or, it's not for veterans, or is it?
It is.
It is.
And so we're actually looking at some way, trying to come up with not 1, but 5 to recognize all the services.
Oh,
And something that would allow the emblems of each service to be represented out there
Yeah.
somehow.
that's why I think along that walkway might be a better place to put those different organizations of the service.
No, and that might be, that's actually where the benches will be going.
Yeah.
Actually to the Mountain View side.
Yeah.
So that'll give us, what the people from Home Depot are doing, while they have a general plan, they realize it's not till you really start moving things around that you can really tell where things will need to be.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
this might be a work in progress. There also, there's a possibility of our being a recipient in future years for donations too.
Yeah.
So this might just be the first step.
Yeah, yeah. I just think you need to consider the snow, where they pile the snow up in the center there, as well as lawn mowing, if you're putting in something that's next to the walkway that's in the lawn. They spend an awful lot of time moving snow and mowing lawns, and to put obstacles in there would probably not be a good idea, but
Though we'll be working closely with Will and Wayne to be sure that we don't create an unintended problem.
okay.
Other things I have for you, new LNA class started last night, so we have 8 new people coming in. And that ends up being very favorable for multiple reasons. It both generates revenue, but it also generates a source of new LNAs from whom we get
Yeah.
essentially first pick. They get introduced to the place and we're able to recruit pretty
I
effectively.
have 2 questions on it. Are they local, and are we short LNAs?
They are local, we are short LNAs, but we're more short right now at the nursing end. Right now, meeting with Becky this morning, we're approaching almost 15 FMLAs, Family Leave Medical Act, people being out.
15?
15, 12 now, and I think there are three pending. We have and that creates quite a divot.
Yeah.
That's, because you have to hold the slot open, it's hard to find temporary people, it's a difficult situation. Nursing is being right now the more critical than the LNAs. And we need to see if we can't find a way, Becky is looking at different ways, perhaps trying to recruit LPNs rather than RNs. LPNs aren't always being as welcomed in the hospital setting as they used to be, but they can certainly serve us well at Mountain View, so we're hoping to be able to recruit. One thing that I have for you in terms of requests, if we could find, and it has come up before indirectly, but met with somebody yesterday who has the potential of developing a separate website for Mountain View that would be linked to the county site. But I wanted to, before going any further with that, wanted to get your feedback and, if agreeable, your blessing to possibly go forward with that. Our Facebook site, our Facebook page has done extremely well. Given weeks, we'll have, we'll have some postings one posting last week generated over 2,000 views. I mean, it's amazing the number of people that are using electronic media. And we could, and now that we're facing a marketing challenge, as we start looking at positioning ourselves for the Medicare side, it would be nice to be able to have a more graphical website where we could have pictures.
Is there
of
something
things.
that you can't put on a present website?
It's, the present county site is a little bit limited. I mean, it does a good job for what it does, which is conveying, typically written information. It's less friendly for a graphical part. But there's a possibility that we'd be able to do it at no cost, or at least get it developed for no cost, if that's something that you think would be a good idea.
I think we better talk with those people that are currently putting things on the website and see how they feel as to whether we can make our present website more available or more flexible. I hate to say it's dividing up things where people can go to just one website and get everything, but.
It would always be linked, so that if someone going to the county site would just click and then go to the other one. So it would
Yeah.
never be, the idea wouldn't be to drive too much of a wedge, but to allow a little bit more casual, a little bit more friendly, a little less business-like type of approach.
Okay, well, I think you ought to follow up on it.
Who would be the primary contact with the county website?
Well, Cheryl, and is Debbie still involved in it? Okay.
Maybe that would be a discussion for the IT committee, which is going to be on Monday.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
And Apparently I didn't bring them with me, but I'll leave for them in your office, copies of the most recent newsletters.
Okay. We get them on,
We get 'em on-
on a computer.
You do?
Yes.
It's a new person that's doing it, right?
It is. In fact, her name is Sasha McCormick. And now all of a sudden I'm forgetting the name of Lisa Delisle.
Yeah.
Was the previous receptionist.
Oh, okay.
But now Sasha had been covering for us on a temporary basis, and then after kind of an extensive interview and review process, was hired as the permanent. So
Okay.
so her first responsibility was getting the newsletter back on track. So
Okay.
that'll now be dependably monthly.
Mhm. Anything else?
That's all I have for you.
I got something that I need to say. I made a statement, I believe, here, and I also made the statement at the delegation meeting. I did get a letter from the union steward, Deanna Chafee, with a number of items in it. And she said that I misspoken when I said that the union had a chance from September through December, first part of December, to come up with a union contract. She explained to me, and I checked with one of the members of the negotiating team, and she's correct. There was a lot of meetings that were scheduled, that were canceled. One meeting was only 10 minutes long. That set the parameters, I guess, on the contract. But it was, I think, the fault of management, from what I can see. One of the reasons why negotiations were not completed, for a number of reasons, but apparently a lot of the meetings either were canceled or delayed, and things didn't get going on time. So I apologize to her, and I'm making it public today that I had misinformation, that they should have had it done, but it's part of management that is the reason why I think it did not get done. And I will make that same apology and call the chairman of the delegation, because I mentioned at the delegation that they had ample opportunity to get a contract and didn't come through. Well, it wasn't their fault. It was a lot of our fault on the management side. So I wanted to say that and get that out. I only looked at what I thought was supposed to happen, but didn't happen, and it was mostly our fault. Okay. Anybody got anything further? Any questions of Howie? If not, thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
While we're waiting for Kathy Bizard to come in, the minutes are back, would you say, March 12th?
Yes, March 12th.
Have not been approved?
They have been approved, but it was with the proviso that I was going to bring the final in so that you could look at it one more time and make sure that corrections that you wanted to be made actually were made. And
Word registry stamp.
How many sets are
Oh,
there?
I see what it is.
You're talking about
Several.
March 12th and last week? Thank you.
You want to explain again why we
So
have
we
March
need to
12th
look at
again?
March 12th?
March 12th was the meeting where you reviewed the minutes. You reviewed the March 12 minutes at the March 19 meeting, which I was not able to attend, and I had to take changes off the tape.
Okay,
And when you were talking with each other, you were, it's not all captured, so I want to
Okay.
just make sure that everything that needs to be changed is captured. And the only actual change, I had to take a line out, And then I put it in red, the line that went in, and before Cheryl posts it to the web, I'll change that so that it's not red on the final one. We had, there were only 3 points where they were discussed.
Is that a change what you make in red?
Yes.
So you make only one change?
No, there were 2 changes that I actually made.
Where is the other change?
It's an excision on page 6. You and Commissioner Sorensen had agreed that we would strike the last sentence. It was about the illegal meetings.
Well, you should make a note of that too, like you strike that.
Well, there is a note in the minutes of the date when you made the change. So one was a deletion, they struck that sentence, and one was the addition of the rephrased. That's the red.
I need to read the whole.
Why did you change it to alleged? The sheriff said that it happened.
Well, that was the change that was agreed to be made, if you,
Well,
Yes, one of
do
the
you have
documents.
documentation?
I had the sheriff tell me that.
Okay, so you don't have it in writing, but he did also give the commissioners a letter on the desk. He sent it.
well, that was a change that you requested.
You can
Okay,
come-
what's the
you can
privilege
come
of
with
the
your
minutes?
proof, that would be good. Well, I need to read the whole thing again. I don't know. She said it.
Do I hear a motion to approve the March 12th minutes?
I make a motion that we approve the March 12th minutes as corrected.
I'll second it. Any further discussion? All those in support of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, nay.
No.
Motion passes 2-1.
Mr. Chairman, why does Commissioner Kenney object to these? We get the corrections.
Commissioner Kenney, you want to try to answer that? Why you object to that?
The sentence that you stricken, that was an accurate sentence, and that was on the video, and we talked about it at a public meeting.
Well, I took that change off the video. You and Commissioner Sorensen discussed it, and you agreed to strike the sentence.
I didn't agree to strike anything.
Okay,
Okay.
motion passed. Kathy, come on up, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
The reason I asked you to, had questions on this, you want to explain it?
On
the avatar.
The avatar.
Yeah,
It's gonna offer the access to the assessing information online
for everybody.
for everybody.
For what
People-
reason would we do that?
Excuse me, you mean everybody within the location or the whole world?
The whole world.
Okay.
Insurance people for, their houses. The property owners themselves, when they're applying for an abatement, will use neighboring assessment records as their evidence. Real estate agents quite often need property cards when they're selling a property. The other one is for tax collect, so the residents may pay their taxes online, electronically.
Okay, I guess that's what I
That's the one we were questioning.
was questioning. Why would they want to pay extra money to do it online when they could
Convenience.
mail it to you or whatever?
Convenience. We're just starting it in Albany, so I'm just getting into it now.
Mhm.
But it's catching on.
$250 a year.
For the update of this tax software to be online.
It's a one-time.
Just a one-time?
It's a one-time setup, and then there's an annual fee.
And what's this is for the tax collector?
Right,
For assessment.
right.
And how much is it how much is the annual fee for the two?
I believe it was
125 houses?
$250. I had written it down on a
I
sticky.
thought it was $250.
$250 a year. And it's
Well-
$250 set up. The assessing's more
What's the
expensive.
$775?
That's the assessing, 2 separate software programs.
Mr. Chairman, I make a recommendation, we deal with one at a time.
Okay.
And which one is the one to start with, the assessors or the tax collector?
Probably the assessing. That's what I get the most call for, is tax cards, assessing information.
Well, I wasn't thinking of that, Kath. I was thinking if we're gonna take the two of them together, I would think we'd start with the collecting of the taxes, because once you get that, you decide that, then assessing's a standalone.
I would ask that you reconsider and do them both.
I don't see where $250, unless it's written down,
That's the figure that sticks in my mind, David, when I read it.
What's the name of the software?
Avatar, AVITAR.
Kathy, is it fair to ask, if we vote to allow to pay online, is it fair to ask the minority that may not want to do that, and the others are? It seems to me that how difficult is it for them to drop their tax bill off?
It's not, but many people, when they go to Florida, they want to ensure that it gets to me. It's just a convenience.
I should back up. We're talking about Hale's location here. We're not talking about anything dealing with the county complex.
We are the selectmen.
We're the selectmen. And because we do get funds from Hale's location to do that, those funds go directly into the budget of the delegation. We don't get it individually.
And for $250 to collect it, what is the cost to the location? There must be looks to me like either a 3 or a 1%.
It depends on which way they're going to use an electronic check or a credit card. So the credit card will be a little more expensive than using an electronic check.
So I'm now in Florida and I want to pay my taxes and I got a credit card. How, do I go to the local McDonald's and give them the card and say attach my account in Hale's location? in
No,
New
no,
Hampshire?
they can
How's
go
that work?
directly to NewHampshireKiosk.com, log into Hale's location, look up their name, they take the taxes, put it into their cart,
And then
and then they
type the
check out.
number in. Okay. And that's how much? It's either 3, it looks like either
Right.
3 or 1%.
Right, the
either one.
3% would be a credit card.
And what's the total? I don't have it open, I got it in here. What's the total tax bill in Hale's location?
The amount or how many
No,
bills?
the total dollars.
Dollars, well, because the school budget went up, it's approximately 200,000 total for the year, we billed twice.
186,
Was-
something like that.
That was just the school.
Yeah,
So we're probably.
that
up
was
to
the schools,
It might
that's
be up
right.
to 250.
That's right.
So basically, we're paying, if everybody went this way, we're paying roughly $6,000 to collect 200,000. And
Where
if for 50% of them, it's still $3,000, right?
Hales is not responsible for any of the 3%, it's on the customer. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
The customer pays-
You don't pay the credit card company?
No.
Who does?
It's called Invoice Cloud, and it's a partner software company with Avatar. And they've partnered up, and it's working out really well in Albany anyways. So
I
this-
guess I'm numb, Kath. I go in and I type this in and I gotta pay $2,000 for my tax bill. I
Yeah.
put the numbers in.
Yep,
The money goes somewhere.
it will
to
go
a
directly.
Third party, or to a bank, your bank? or-
It'll go directly into the bank account, and Invoice Cloud will receive their percentage
From the bank?
from the bank, I believe that that's the way it goes. And Avatar gets this software update every year. They
So
get that
why would
money.
why would the 3% go to the bank and not the credit card company? I mean, it's a cost here somewhere.
Yeah,
And you're telling me if you've got a total bill of $200,000, you're gonna get $200,000.
yes.
You're not gonna get $194,000.
No.
Okay. So there's really no cost to the community for
No,
that.
other than the update every year.
Okay.
Kathy,
That's
all-
roughly $1 a family.
If they so choose to utilize the tax online.
Well, I figured if they all did,
Yeah.
okay.
I only see $750.
That's on the assessing software.
Yeah. Where's the 250?
That's on the tax software. There's two different contracts. One's for the
All right,
assessing,
so this is just a 750.
for assessing,
Okay,
and that,
Okay.
I believe, will be an annual fee.
okay.
I thought the same thing. I thought you said, Kath, that it was $750 initially and then $250 every year after.
No, the
Now you're
assessing,
saying it's $750 every year?
Per year.
$750 per year for assessing, it'll be $250 for tax. It's two separate.
How is that $750 based? Is it based on the number of houses, or is it based on just a flat fee that,
I think it's a flat fee because we're paying approximately the same in Albany. I think we're paying $8.99.
what do the residents feel about it?
I haven't really spoken to them about it. It's just, it is a huge convenience to be able to access these records online. There's a lot of times when somebody's applying for an abatement and they are using their neighbor's evaluation as their evidence. And this will just cut me out of the picture and they can go and get it. Same thing with appraisers or realtors especially, selling, if they don't know to email me, they have to wait till Friday till I'm in. And this will give them
Mhm.
the ability just to go in and retrieve it.
And what about the scammer that's putting down black water on the pavement that sees a nice long driveway? Are they able to get this information and also?
It's
Everybody.
available on
Everybody.
the World Wide Web.
Do the residents have any feeling about that? I mean, I certainly would.
Again, I haven't-
To me, it's a privacy issue.
I haven't spoken to them.
How many taxpayers we have? 150?
Less, 135.
135? Asha, what do you think?
Like she mentioned, I think it's a good idea.
You think it's a good idea?
Convenient. Yes. I mean, this is what we have now. We are in the 20th century. Everything is, we have electronic. And I think we need to keep up with that.
Mhm.
Kathy, you don't have any way to poll 135 people in Hale's location? I have no problem with the other one paying their money, tax money in the credit card, but I do with this one, and we don't have we'll have a primary in June. You don't have any way to
When do they have
contact
their
125 to see how
their
they
annual
feel about
meeting?
it?
I think their
The
annual
fall?
meeting is in the fall.
I think so too.
There's not private information included in these records.
If
These
somebody,
records
if somebody
must-
came to you Friday afternoon from any place, they could ask you for the information,
These are all public
and
records.
you have to give it to them.
These are all public records.
So all we're doing is making it easier for somebody to do that at a cost of $750 a year.
That's where I have a problem. If they're nosy enough to find out what their neighbor's taxes are, let them come in on Friday afternoon and find out rather than just go.
They don't
push
even
a
have to
button.
come in, they could pay Avatar directly for an account and go in and access anything they want.
Why is Albany,
It's public
how did Albany
information.
come up with this? Was that passed by the town to do this?
Yeah, yeah,
Really?
the selectmen. We, I learned about it, every year we go to our tax conferences,
Yeah.
and every software company is there, and I have a really good relationship with them, and if I have a problem with the Avatar software,
Yeah.
usually the person I call is the person who will sit there and fix it.
Yeah.
And I waited for them to really kind of work their little quirks out before
Mhm.
I signed on in Albany. And
Okay. And Avatar is right down
On 28 there.
Yeah, 28.
Chichester.
yes.
Chichester, yeah,
Yes.
yep. It's local, so,
Yeah.
at least New Hampshire. Well, what do we want to do?
I'm voting.
Yeah?
I'm
Do
gonna
I-
vote, I'm gonna vote to collect the taxes electronically, and I'm gonna vote no on the $750 to make it easier for people to be nosy.
Well, it's all public information, whether you get in to get the information or you get it online. It's like we're putting minutes here, it's public records, it is on the website. You can come in between 8 and 4 and get the same minutes, or you can go online and just read the minutes. Same
Same
thing.
thing with the taxes too. Anybody, you put those online, anybody can go in and take a look at it, their neighbor's taxes. They can see
Still
their
voting no.
assessed value right there on the tax program also.
Still voting no.
But you can come in also and see
Yes,
the same
Delvin.
thing.
No, I think the people in Hill's location is only 135. They ought to have the opportunity to say yes, whether they want to spend the money or not, and have somebody access this material far more easily than if they wanted to get down and get in their car and go do it themselves.
In Albany, the town voted to do this?
The
Or
selectmen
did just the
voted.
selectmen?
The selectmen did,
And they put it in the town budget, so
Put it in the
people in
budget.
Albany saw it.
yes. Yes, and on their tax bills, you know, there's a little place for a message, and I said you can now pay your taxes online, go to the website.
Mhm.
and It's picking up.
This is not in our current budget.
It is.
It is,
I did put it in the budget that was just approved.
okay. Well, I guess, do I hear a motion to approve this
Which one?
$750 for people to check on anybody's assessment?
So I have a question. So
Go
that
ahead.
is the assessing software, that is $750. What is the startup fee?
That is.
That is a
that
startup
is-
fee, is
yes, and that'll
$750,
be-
and annual is
Yes,
$750.
for updating.
And the tax software, what is the startup fee?
Uh,
It's just a $250?
$250 to set up, and then $250 a year.
Okay, so there is no startup fee for the assessing, just $750 a year.
Right.
Do I hear a motion?
Not from me.
Yes, a motion to move for the assessing software for $750 annual. For Hills location.
Then do I hear a second? I would like to get input from the residents in Hills location. I think that's your hang-up, right?
Yes.
All right, we don't have a second, so how can we get to the residents?
Can write a letter.
Write a letter?
Cass, is it possible to write a letter and you have it in your budget to put 135 postcards in it, yes or no? Checking
Yeah.
self-addressed and send it
I
back?
mean, I could even put it off another month and a half or so when I'm sending out the June, July due tax bills. I can just include it in the same mailing.
Well, I'd be pleased with that, and
You know, maybe
if
do
the
a
majority
little
of them want it, then
Do a little survey.
Yeah. We can do it that way, or we can wait till the annual meeting.
Yeah, but
Um,
I just like to say something.
What's
The
that?
annual meeting is once a year, but it is an association, so they do meet. They do meet like once a month
The
or?
executive board meets.
So I think maybe we should contact the president of the association and for him input, and I think he can get to the residents, to the people there.
I don't think we should leave it up to the association. This is a selectman's responsibility and not, the association is separate from us. They have other responsibilities than we have. I think if you could put out a mailing, and see what we get back for results,
Mhm.
okay?
Mhm.
Sorry to put you
Yeah,
to that
that's
work,
fine.
but I tend to agree. I mean, $750 probably is not much to them, but yet they probably ought to have a say in it,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. The money's in the budget anyways, so if we get approval from the residents, we can always sign on later in the year.
Yep, yep, okay.
If I may, I just want to clarify. I said contact the president of the association to get input from the residents. Not that the association is going to do it, but just to get to the residents, the input from the residents. That is what I meant.
Okay.
Taxes, I'll make a motion that we approve the collection of taxes. What's the correct term, Kathy, electronically?
Yes.
That we approve the collection of Hales location taxes electronically.
Second it. Do we have the equipment to do that?
That was gonna be my next piece of business.
Oh, well, let's get the whole thing out.
I might as well, you know.
Aye.
It's only so often I get down here. The current laptop is 4 years old and getting out of date, and so I did also put enough into the budget to cover for a new laptop if you would approve it. And yes,
Well, that's not on this.
no, that's total
You're
separate
gonna come back
business.
to us for that, baby. I'll
Only
stick
so much
with my
time I can
motion.
take off from Albany.
All right. Any further discussion on the motion?
Was that a second?
I second it.
Oh, okay.
All those in support of the motion say aye.
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 So that's unanimous. Now you want to bring up the laptop?
Yes.
What's it going to cost and what's in the budget for it?
I put $1,000 in to
$1,000.
include, you know, the Microsoft software, Avatar, they'll upload everything for us, so there's no cost there.
Yeah,
Um,
okay. And what happens to the old one?
Up to you. Can sell it. Can give it back. I usually give the old computers back to Computer Port is where I usually get computers. And I let them take care of it.
Okay, do I hear a motion to approve the purchase of a new laptop?
Well, for discussion. Yes.
You make a motion, I'll second it. Now discussion.
I think it's a good question, what do we do with the old one? Compared to mine, 4 years isn't an old one. And is there a way to get rid of it? I think the proper way to do it is to sell it up there. You don't have any, that's for Albany or for Hales
It's
location?
for Hills.
Do you put out a newsletter in which you can advertise that you have it?
No.
Okay.
Any further discussion on the purchase of a laptop? If not, all those in support of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, nay. Then unanimous, so voted. Anything else?
I think that's it.
think that's it?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Later, we changed the budget of Hills location. We added another $3,000. What was the $3,000 for precisely? There was a change in the Hills location budget.
It was in the school, I think,
The school was
or
definitely
the one
more
right under the
expensive.
school.
Or it was the assessing, because they're gonna start their revaluation, and they're gonna do half the work this year and half the work next year.
So it was for the
So
school?
That's assessing, I know, had gone up quite a bit, but I'm not sure.
But
the
that was
3,000.
to measure
Right,
all the houses.
right.
and interior, I believe.
That was
Right.
for a physical, actual physical assessment, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That was to be done this year, as phase one, and phase two was to reassess or reevaluate the rest of the
Reevaluate.
properties.
So you did send in a change of $3,000 at the end, because we approved the budget at one time and later we amended. We put in another $3,000 because there was suddenly a change.
Mhm.
I
And
think
it,
that was it. I think there was a decrease in the election line and an increase in the assessing line.
No, okay.
Because Conway changed the way they're going to charge Hales for elections. It used to be $1,035 per election. They went to change it based upon their assessed value compared to Conway, and it ended up being 1,000.
And you also have
about
two
1,000
more
for the whole
elections this
year.
year than you had.
So instead of 1,000 per election, it's 1,000 for the whole year.
So did it change it
So
again?
that
Because we-
lowered, but the assessment went up.
Oh, we talked about that, I think, a few years ago, that it was already changed, so,
The election,
yeah, about
they
a
changed
fee.
it again.
So it is changed again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, any further questions? Thank you very much for coming down.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, at this point in time, we'll move into work session. Go ahead, Commissioner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, in this week's paper, Commissioner Kenney had written a letter, published a letter accusing you of fraudulently using the county credit card. I think that's a pretty serious accusation. Commissioner Kenney, could you give us the background and show us the proof?
This is a work session and not a text session. So I don't give any comments.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a
Go ahead.
motion, we recess this meeting until Commissioner Kenney brings in the evidence that you fraudulently used a credit card, and that if we have to come back tomorrow or the next day, we don't get paid for today. This is,
What-
I mean,
what
this
is-
is, this
So
is
that's
beyond,
fine,
this is
then we
beyond
recess.
anything that any board should be doing, writing a letter that you've done something
Didn't-
criminal with absolutely no accusation, and
Didn't
I
you
won't
watch,
stand
didn't
for
you
it.
watch those meetings and see that?
I've been here
and-
for 16 months
and
and I haven't heard you say a peep about it.
It is all on video.
What's on video?
It is all on video that you admit it. It's all there, so go research the videos.
I'm not gonna search any video,
I don't
I'm
think-
asking
And
you
you-
what
and
you,
you-
what
and you
you're
can
basing
research
your
the-
charge on. I mean, this isn't just stealing 1-cent candy by a 5-year-old. You're accusing him of fraudulently using the company.
It is all there,
I got a
it's on
motion, Mr.
it's
Chairman.
on video and it's on a credit card. Go research the credit card, he even admitted it on video.
I think
Yeah.
when you make accusations, you need to come up with the proof.
The proof is right there and you know about it.
No, that's not sufficient.
Because you said then your personal credit card was not
If we
working,
had- if we
and
had
then
the-
it was not working. You put it on the credit card, and remember, you came with your checkbook, and you waved, and you said you were going to pay it back. It's all on video.
And I did.
Well, so,
So-
look, he admitted. He said
It
his
wasn't,
personal...
I don't even know what it's about, whether.
Oh, so then why are you screaming and crying about? You don't even know what it is about.
I have the floor, I believe.
We
Go ahead,
talk about
Commissioner.
that. And like I said, this is not a text session. It's a work session.
How-
So the meeting is now
Okay.
recessed, I hear?
Not yet. I want to ask you, Commissioner Kenney, how should we handle this?
Handle what?
Well, you made the accusation in the paper, but you have no proof of it.
It's a fact.
It
You
is.
even admitted it's on video.
And what?
What did I
Do we have
admit?
to research the video?
What did I admit?
When I looked through the credit card and you used the
Yes.
credit card for personal use, and when I asked you,
No,
you
no,
said,
no.
you said your personal credit card was not working.
That's right, but it
And
was not used for personal.
Because
It was used for
I-
county business.
I have that email.
Okay, Mr.
I
Chairman,
have
a
that
motion
email,
on the floor. Should we
And you
second
said
it, please?
first, NACO doesn't accept it. They don't accept personal credit cards. I talked to those people and they say that is not true.
Would you state your
So-
motion again?
So it is
My
there.
motion is to go into recess until Commissioner Kenney brings in proof that you fraudulently used the credit card.
He
and
did.
No, wait a minute.
I have the floor, Commissioner. And that we don't get paid for this meeting if we have to come back when she gets the proof, wherever it is.
He has the proof.
Um,
Fine,
And if
meeting
she
is
doesn't come
recessed.
back with it, we don't meet, ever and ever? I mean, is there a
Fine.
deadline? Is there a deadline on this?
Well, well, we got to second it for discussion.
Well, I don't want to second it if there's no deadline. If you put a
We can't have
week,
a discussion then.
all right, I'll second it.
I think, yeah, there probably ought to be a deadline, but if the proof is so readily available, as Commissioner Kenney says, she ought to have no problem getting it for us in a day or two, and that we put it up here. This just can't continue, attacking on employees.
You are the one that's attacking.
Well,
I
We're
have
talking
the
about.
He has the
Okay,
floor,
talk.
Commissioner, he has the floor.
Okay, sorry, you have the floor.
I'll give you your opportunity.
We just can't continue this accusing people of things with absolutely no proof. If you did it fraudulently, instead of Commissioner Kenney coming in here and making a whole bunch of noise about it, she should have gone to the sheriff and had an investigation, had you arrested, had you thrown in jail or whatever, if what you did was so bad. There's no problem getting the backup information, and I'm tired of her coming in here, running employees down, and us too.
All right, what, would you want to put a date on when that has to be done?
Well, no, because then the date goes by and she doesn't bring in the evidence, and we get another letter that you've fraudulently, no, I don't want to put a date on it. When she brings the evidence in, she said it's all right there on the tape. Come in with the times, the dates, and we'll look it up and watch it.
So
I'll
you
even let
said,
you use my iPad.
I have a problem without putting some kind of a time limit on it, because if we recess indefinitely, then we won't meet next week either.
It'll be fine.
Oh,
okay, so recess now then.
This information is readily available, we've just been told so.
He even said he paid it back. So do you have your cancel check? Because then we have the evidence right there.
no, you can go look at,
You
Okay, so
bring it
if
in
you-
here, you're making the
okay.
charges.
you're making
So-
the charge, you,
I will have to
you,
look for your cancel
you
check
do your
then.
research and come up with why it happened. And
Okay,
I'll tell
wonderful.
you right now that it was not personal, it was county business. It was to go to a national meeting, and I think you'll find that as being true. I don't know why they wouldn't accept my personal credit card, but that credit card is also in my name here at the county. It's been used for years and years and years to pay registration fees at different county events, whether it be National Association or to our New Hampshire Association of County Annual Meeting. But you bring in the evidence, and we'll stand recess until you bring it in.
Yeah, let me say something.
Okay?
You get
Yep.
you got only so much money to go to this meeting. The other stuff, registration fee and other things, you had to pay out of your pocket.
Exactly.
And you
Mr. Chairman,
didn't.
there's a motion on the floor.
And you
Can we vote
didn't.
on it, please?
So
We're
that
just
is what it's all
discussion.
about, and you didn't.
You can yak anytime.
Okay, there's recess now, so.
No, it's a motion,
Motion,
we have to vote on
and
it.
I second it. All those in support of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, can you just
Aye.
repeat the
All those opposed, nay.
what is the motion again?
The motion
Already
is,
voted on.
Recess?
we stand recess until you come in with documentation to back up the fraudulent accusation against the chairman. So voted, 2-1.
So recess.